Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at an Amstrad 6128 with the famous slightly dodgy 3-inch disk drive. There's a big label on this thing which I think gives it away. Keyboard not working. As I recall, there's only one key that works on here. So let's just power it up and see what happens. See whether we get any life out of it. Okay. Right. Well, that works okay. The video signal is quite stable. Oh, I've got number. Whoops. Escape works. 1 works. 2 works. And not much else. Q works. Tab no. We got some. We got 3 keys that work so far, and none of the others. That is not very useful, to be fair. Okay, so we need to have a look at this. We'll open it up, have a butcher's inside and see what we've got. I know it's a standard keyboard membrane. They're really difficult to find. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, to be fair. But we will have a look. Unplug the ludicrous cabling from these Amstrads. So let us get a suitable screwdriver and take a look inside. This has been opened before, you can feel it. The screws are very, very willing to come out. There's no sort of snapping sound or anything like that you sometimes get with new screws. I think it just pops off. You've got to be careful with the connector. So it levers up that way. That actually looks in pretty good condition. So yeah, that's not bad. So there's the CPU, a bunch of memory, floppy controller, I think, some ROMs, a couple of ROMs there. That's the sound generator. I can't actually see what that is. I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, it looks in really good nick. Right, so let us remove. So what is it here? Yeah, so this cable comes in here. So that's the what is that? Yeah, it's the power indicator, power LED up there, and the speaker connection, which I think goes all the way that way. Yeah, it's actually tied. It's cable tied. Right, let's precariously put that there. So I'm going to have to, well, I don't have to cut that one, but I do have to cut this. Well, no, I don't actually. No, I'm talking complete gibberish. So that one is actually, this shielded cable here is actually the volume control. That's interesting. Okay, so that is the what is that? That's the speaker connection, and this one is the power LED, and these are the keyboard connections here. Oh, I can see the problem already, I think. Right, yeah, so I don't think actually it's the keyboard itself, the membrane. Well, I don't know, let's not preempt it. Let's just get that off first. So let's move this out of the way, and let's hope that that one is in good nick and we can actually get some life out of it, possibly even repair the floppy drive, or service the floppy drive. Okay, so what we got here? Oh no, okay, I thought these cable connectors here, the keyboard connectors, were actually frayed and broken, but they seem okay. So it's probably something, it probably is the membrane that's gone, which is not ideal, but hey. I think it's clipped. Yeah, you can see here it's actually clipped together, which is never a good sign. You consider the age of these plastics. Is it gonna play ball? Maybe it is. Okay, well that didn't give us much in the way of horrible noises. Famous last words, that is, to be honest. do that in sequence, and hopefully I'm not going to stress it too much. All the clips off. No, that one's still on. Oh, that came off quite easily. I'm amazed. Okay, I really thought that was going to go crunch and we were going to end up with broken tabs. Right, so we know that some of them here, so the 1, 2 and the Q key are working. So does the keyboard membrane come? Yes, so it's all sealed up. There was a little bit of dust and lint, whatever the hell that is, hair. I'll put that to one side. Actually, I mean, it looks in pretty flipping good condition, to be fair. But the keyboard membrane, not sure. I shouldn't have done that. I should have. Oh, bugger. Which way round is it? Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, so yeah, it goes there. So you can see here on this side, that's the function keypad there. And that's a space bar. All right, so we know that these ones are dicky. So let's get a marker. That's escape. That's 1, that's 2, and that's Q. So we know that those work. Now the interesting thing is they all seem to have a common connection. I wonder. Ah, it does come out off actually. You can, yeah, it looks like you can actually separate it. It's glued down. It is actually glued down, but the glue has perished a bit, I think. Yeah, look, it's actually glued. Interesting. It's weird because it actually looks in really good nick. Yeah, let's see if we can test the thing. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to test this, to be honest. Wait, I know it's going to be a nightmare. So separate it into 2 halves. So this does the under bit, and that does the top bit. If we do a positive first, so we know that escape 1 and 2 and Q work. So that comes out on pin 2 here. I'm saying pin 2 is completely arbitrary measure of what the pin is. So let's put that on that, and then on the underside, carefully flip that over. That one goes to the escape key goes to pin 3 from the top there. Definitely pin 3 there. I'm really not sure I'm going to be able to make a decent connection. It never seems to work very well with crocodile clips, to be honest. Let's put the no, I can't seem to get a positive out of that at all. Oh, hang on. You can do. There we go. Just very high resistance. So that's escape. What's that? 1 point, almost 2 megohm. Jeez. All right. Okay. So 1 is like that, but that 1 is actually on number 1 key. Is actually on number 1 here. If I move that side, do I get 1? I do. Oh, that one's much better. Okay, that's interesting. Let us try and pick up a key that didn't work. So this one is correct. So 2, that goes to Q, which is W. So this is W, which doesn't work. Now W on the other side of this membrane goes to number 4 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. W. That works. Interesting. The W definitely didn't work on the other one. I wonder. Maybe I've just assumed that this whole thing is knackered because they're always knackered. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just clean the contacts a bit. Got hold of some contact cleaner and a Q-tip there. Sorry, cotton bud, beg your pardon. And I'm going to have a look at these contacts. So, I don't know. It's probably worth just cleaning these off. I mean, I expected it to be dodgy membrane, but you never know. Wow, that is very, very dirty. Wow, okay. That's that one. And careful they don't bend this too much. Wow, that is really much dirtier than I thought. I suppose these are typical membrane crapness. Okay, it's a bit annoying if I mean it's annoying if this works. I'm going to reassemble it, but if it works, then that's both annoying and brilliant at the same time. And maybe it's something I should have just tried straight off the bat. So I'm so used to these membranes being broken that, you know, you never even think about that. But there you go. I'm going to shut up until I've done it. I was about to say I'm amazed that none of these clips are broken, but they're actually not broken, which is amazing. Okay, so that's good. Well, let's not dick around. Let's actually get it assembled. I'm not going to bother with the top bit, the speakers and the LED indicator, power indicator. Who cares about that? Let's put that to one side here. Oh, that bends alarmingly with the drive. My bench is not big enough. That's the problem. It's just not big enough. So before I do that, let's just quickly clean these as well. Let's just do that now. What I've done in the past is use a bit of cardboard down there. I'm gonna just go with paper. That's probably good enough. If I double this up a little bit, it's very difficult to know whether it's having any impact or not. But okay, who knows? let's just say that did work. Right, let's move this stuff out of the way. The bench is getting messy already. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And that horrible thing, that can go. So if I balance it that way. Right, so this bit goes here. And it actually has a piece of reinforcing plastic there, which is good to help with the mechanical mounting of it. That's very difficult. Hang on a sec. Let me just redo this a minute. That's weird. It seems to be. Well, it must go that way. It must go that way. Right, I think that's mounted. There's a little squeak, which is good. Let's put that there. Some mounting posts there we can rest it on, which is also good. Right, well, let's test it. Carefully put the screws to one side, otherwise that could go horribly wrong. Just plug it back in. It goes in there like that. Okay, let's go. Bloody hell! Ha! I don't believe it. The membrane's fine. It was just the dirty connections on the edge. That's so weird. I mean, it's amazing, but when I was doing it, it was. I can't believe this. That is absolutely phenomenal. Oh my god, amazing! Ha! The simplest things. Well, we got to see how it goes together, which is good, I suppose. Next thing I've got to do is test it. I think I might just... Well, I'm going to have a look at the floppy drive first. We'll test the floppy drive, see if that works. Let's plug a joystick in. Now that is a proper classic. The arcade. Look at that. Whoa, nice. Okay, and we run 3D Grand Prix. So let's clear that. Run disk. Wow, it's doing something. There's a little bit of hair on that spindle. I'm going to get rid of that. Ah, that's not worked. Okay, I wonder if the other side's alright. Maybe this drive needs a clean. Ignore that. Hello. Oh, I went now, surely. Although they're identical, yeah. Let's turn it off and on again. Now I know this disc works. Ah. Wow. That's awesome. Oh, unfortunately I haven't got the sound. Huh. That's a shame. Oh, those pots need adjusting. How scratchy they are. Oh yeah, come on. Fourth gear, come on down the straight, come on, out of the way. No, it's a flipping thing. Anyway, that works. That's really cool. I'm gonna clean the disc anyway, clean the drive because I've got it open. One thing that you have to do with these drives is typically replace the drive belt. But whilst we're here, might as well take a look at the clean the drive head. So the typical alcohol, yeah. And what's cool is that it's really easy to get to. It's literally right there. I mean, it looks quite clean actually, to be fair. You never quite know. And there was a little bit on there. Just clean that off, dry it. Okay. Excellent. Well, that's quite good. I'm a little bit amazed. I'm going to give this a little bit of a clean once over and button it back up. Yeah, this one will probably, I'm going to put it on test. This one will probably a candidate for selling on. Yeah, keyboard works fine. I've got to fully test that. Test all the bits and pieces. The ports look okay, but I will give them a clean anyway. And just spruce it up and then yeah, flog this one on. Let's recap. Test the keyboard fully, clean all the ports. I've cleaned the disk drive. I've got to test a few other discs. I noticed here, if I just unplug this a minute, I noticed here that that there's some glue there, so the post has been repaired. So there's been some work done on this thing, but actually very well done. The only problem is I think there might be a bit of damage there, but it's not visible under the case, so I think we're okay. The other slight question is there's a missing bit there. I'm not sure whether there's supposed to be a cover on top of that. but it's not really a thing. It's not really needed because, I mean, the top covers all of that sin, so there's really no issue there. There's been a repair there as well, but again, really nicely done. So it's been looked after, which is very nice to see. And it's actually in pretty good nick. And of course, that horrible label, I reckon, can come off because it works. So yes, clean it up and see if we can give it another home. Fantastic. Before I finish this, just a quick note on reassembly. To make the mistake that I just made, you actually have to. I shouldn't have actually put those ribbon cables back on so early, because you need to put the keyboard in first, and then these larger screws go into the keyboard and hold the keyboard in place on the top panel. Without that, I was sort of struggling, thinking, what the hell's going on? And then I realised that this positively holds it in the right location, so that when you put it back together, it doesn't just fly apart. And that will locate the top bit, and then hopefully when we do that, we can then, you can't see this unfortunately, but then there's these cables here for the also, you have to make sure that that hasn't come out. One of the power connectors, the one that goes to the 12 volt the monitor, needs to go into that little groove thing to locate it. Otherwise, you can't shut the lid. It's a bit of a jigsaw. That's the repair complete. Repair, I mean, I've only cleaned a few contacts, but yeah, we had it stripped down. Let's call it a repair, and going to test this thing and get it shipped off. Somebody's going to want it. It's they do go for some money, especially when they're working, especially if the disk drive works, because those are classics for failing. Anyway, as I say, I've got to test the thing a bit more to be 100%. What I would love to do, and maybe that's something that I'm going to figure out at some point, is to connect up printer port at the back. I don't have, well, actually no, that's not true, I do have an external floppy. What would be nice is to test it all, wouldn't it, really? To test the external floppy, test the printer. I do actually have a ROM expansion pack. It's a massive beastly thing, but not sure about that. Also need to test, I've tested the joystick port, that works. I haven't tested the audio output, stereo audio output, really nice. One thing I do need to test actually is the tape. So I've got some tapes. Let's see what we've got to test. We've got Stir Crazy featuring Bobo on tape. If I get hold of a tape drive, I think that's a standard DIN connection. I might even be able to use the one from the Oric, I'm not sure, but I can look at that. I do actually have, I've got a tape deck here that I recently repaired, and that has a DIN connection on it. I wonder if that DIN is the same as that DIN, because that might be quite nice to have. It's weird, I've never actually used a DIN to DIN connection on an 8-bit computer before. That sounds weird, because there are many that have that, like the Oric and loads of others, and I'm fairly sure it's a standard pin out, but I've never actually tested it, which is a bit odd thinking about it. But I have a load of these, what are they, 5-pin DIN connections for MIDI and stuff like that. Got loads of those knocking about, so maybe I could test that. Have a look at the pinouts first to make sure it's not custom, and then we might be able to use this thing to do some DIN tape loading action. That would be great. At the very least, if I can test the printer port and the tape drive, that will give me some level of confidence that the machine is all good. And obviously, in any kind of eBay listing, if you're saying that you've tested that bit, you list all the things you have tested, then there's always something you won't test. I'm not sure about the expansion, the ROM expansion. The unit I've got is homemade, and not by me, but it's a homemade unit, huge thing. I'll do a video on that at some point. but it's rather scary looking. Lots of weird switches and stuff like that. That's really good, but I'm reluctant to plug it into there because I don't know what state it's in. Anyway, the other thing is the disk drive. I do have an external disk drive. Let me show you. I don't know whether it works, but I do have the proper connector somewhere for that. All I need to do is provide Molex power. I actually have a byte drive external Molex power supply for a for that kind of plus 5 and plus 12 volt connector. I don't know where the hell it is, and I was thinking that on my, in quotes, proper 6128, my one, because this is going to be sold at some point hopefully, then that would match the aesthetic reasonably well. I mean, this has been painted gold, it's kind of homemade and weird, but I quite like it. Anyway, so if I can do that as well, that means I've got an external floppy drive that I've tested and I'm happy with. So yeah, cool. Well, I'll see you next time. Cheers.